Tonight, we have predictions for this weekend at Backlash.
At Backlash.
At Backlash?
At Backlash. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Welcome to your official Max Wrestling predictions for Backlash. I am your captain along with Beer, and joining us is Cypher, and Backlash isn't all that's going on tonight.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. Coming up tonight, the 2026 King of the Mic officially begins, and your first match will be a collision course with two people that's actually here today. It's myself and Cypher himself. As you can see, unfortunately, our man is missing El Jefe. Don't worry, we still got a fantastic show for you. El Jefe is away today, so Cypher has tagged in. So don't worry, we still got an all-star cast. We're going to run through NXT. We're going to run through Dynamite. But first, let's start with Backlash.
At Backlash. Yeah. Mo's taking a vacay, so he gets to dodge the Backlash bullet, but I'm sure we'll get his predictions for it. Let's kick it off with Trick Willie and Sami Zayn for the US title. Well, first of all, rest in peace, Gingerbread Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace to the cookie that Sammy also destroyed so violently for no fucking reason. But hey, we're here now.
I don't think with this match, I mean, this had all the makings of a very, very solid feud. But having a Gingerbread Man as a part of the feud, it just shows that SmackDown's creative at the moment is literally at the lowest it's ever been. Once upon a time, SmackDown was the best show on television, and obviously you had the Bloodline story, but you've gone from there to there, and that's within 3 years.
And ironically, it's still more entertaining than Raw.
It's something's really going on, especially with the creative team on both shows. You could really say is absolute dog shit at the minute. However, too soon for Trick to drop the belt.
Yeah, I'm not even sure why they're doing a rematch, because there's no way Sammy's going to win.
No. And
Especially-
if Sammy wins, dude, that's gonna cause backlash over song.
Trick's too new, he's too fresh, he's too popular, and it made perfect sense to put the title on him at WrestleMania. There's literally no reason for Sammy to win, other than if they want to generate massive amounts of heat, which WWE, you've got enough heat on you right now.
A potential thing to do is obviously when Melo is back, there is every capability of having the triple threat, which we wanted at WrestleMania. Should have been at WrestleMania, but taking Melo off the card was just fucking ridiculous.
And he injured though.
But he's either injured or he's enjoying his fresh time with Kalani Jordan. But unfortunately, they're actually not married just yet, but they are still engaged. Thank goodness for them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Trick because I think it's too soon, and I think we don't want to play hot potato with the United States title already, because what's going to be happening if Sammy wins the title? We're going to do these open challenges rubbish again, because I'm sick of open challenges.
Yeah, and we also got Little Yachty to consider as well. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
That pair oh, sorry, Corey.
I was gonna say I don't get why he's still there. I really don't. Why is Little Yachty still in WWE? And I know this is going back in the releases realm of everything, but you just had 24 releases. You got your talent taking 50% pay cuts, while the rest of the TKO and upper boards are getting like extension deals and bigger paychecks. But you can afford Little Yachty?
Who's not needed because Trick can talk. Trick Williams does not need a mouthpiece.
No. He don't need a mouthpiece. I mean, Trick's going to retain the title. Like, that's a given. But why are we putting a mouthpiece on Trick when literally in NXT, all that man did was talk his shit and deliver? I don't see the point of Little Yachty even being here.
Another brain dead TKO decision, I'm guessing.
It would be like putting Paul Heyman to talk for The Rock.
Yeah.
It makes absolute zero sense. However, the bond between Little Yachty and Trick Williams is starting to grow on me a bit, because I think they were friends as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've been friends for quite a long time. Trick's mic skills when he was in NXT, even the 2.0 days, they were great. You don't change things when you don't. If you don't, there's an old saying: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think the bond is growing, but it does not need. I think if Little Yachty is going away after Backlash, then I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole celebrity involvement is a big debate going on right now. It makes a little bit of sense for WrestleMania, but beyond WrestleMania, we don't need it. Especially like Cypher said, when you can't afford to pay half your fucking talent.
That's true.
Despite making billions of dollars. But anyway, before we get into the next match, this week's Max Energy is Raw once again, but it's a different one.
Taking this better than Monday Night Raw at the minute.
Exactly. And the next one is on the topic of those releases. It's missing its key ingredients. But is she going to show up? Is she not? Io Sky versus Asuka. Do we get Kyrie or not?
Go ahead, Beer. I know you got a lot to say about this one.
Yes. I think it is going to happen, but on one shape only, with Kyrie saying full-time contract. I do not want a one-night only deal because it would make zero sense. Because where is the payoff between Asuka and Kyrie? Where's the match between them two? It will show that Kyrie can be a very solid mid-carder. However, if she comes back a full-time deal, I would go through what my creative plans would be with that. But however, if you take Kyrie out of this match is going to be a fantastic match between two of the best women's wrestlers in the world for me. Everyone's going to say that Asuka is not as red hot as she was during Black and Gold, and also when she first came onto the main roster. And also WWE recently uploaded the rivalry ever since August. You've had Kyrie all over the damn video for 50 minutes, and yet she's not even a part of on the roster right now.
Honestly, I don't think she's going to be there. With these last 2 weeks, they've managed to make it just about them two, story-wise, especially that sit-down face-to-face we had this past week. Even though we know Kyrie is a big part of this feud and how it's come to this point, but if you were just to tune in, if you hadn't been watching for weeks or months and you just tuned in this week, you wouldn't think there was anything else going on between these two other than personal beef. So, I think they managed to worm their way out of it, that they probably won't have Kyrie there to affect the outcome of the match. Whether they bring her back in the future, I don't know. But it seems like they're trying to move past having Kyrie in this storyline for now.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, I'm 50-50. I mean, I hope she's there. I really hope she makes an appearance. But then again, like you said, like they might have weaseled their way out of this one, but it would make sense for storyline purposes to have her be there, screw over Asuka for Io to win, then she takes out Io Sky, and then she just goes out on her own and just every man for himself, and then in the near future, maybe at SummerSlam, for a mid-card belt, have them in a triple threat. Asuka versus Io versus Kyrie.
Either way, I think Io wins it. I don't expect it to be a rematch. Just one and done. The feud's been going on long enough. and we've been waiting for the payoff that we're never going to get in the same way now, so we don't need another match. Unless by some miracle you do bring Kyrie back, there's no other payoff for this match other than to just end it at Backlash.
If I can touch back on the video that they uploaded, did you know that they did not edit out the "We Want Kyrie" chants?
They're too loud.
Exactly. And if Uncle Brian's article is 100% correct, and if there's over 50% belief, I take every word from Brian correct more than Uncle Dave, because Uncle Dave, he's delusional Dave, he's losing the fucking plot. But I would think Alvarez, I got a little bit of confidence in him. But this is how I could get WWE out of this mess they've put themselves in. And however, I take things by PayPal. I take things by my credit and debit card. She comes back, helps Io win the match. Build for the next Saturday night's main event. You could have Kyrie and Io against Asuka, and a recently traded to Raw Julia as the next Kabuki Warriors. Then going forward, you can then start a nice little build with Io and Julia going into Clash at Italy. And for the next Saturday night's main event, or you could have a match on Raw, or two, you have a cage match between Asuka and Kairi Sane. There's the feud. Story closed. Let Kairi go for the Intercontinental or trade it to SmackDown and become the United States champion. That's how I can get WWE out of this mess. They've shot themselves in the foot with this, because it's day 13 that this Kairi Sane movement has been ongoing. So surely they have got to do the right thing. I think now they've got no choice. Because if they don't bring Kairi Sane in at Tampa, Florida, Monday Night Raw, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But I am going to go Io to win the match.
I like the idea of Julia aligning with Asuka, because she's just sinking faster than the Titanic on SmackDown. They're doing jack shit with her.
Right? And let Kiana James be a star on SmackDown. Let Julia be at Raw. Hell. Because Kiana James, dude, she's got what it takes to be a champion in some shape or form, whether it's the mid card or the high card. I think it's time to separate the two. Let Kiana James beat her down, send Julia to Raw, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, and they're clearly pushing Kiana more into competing rather than just being Julia's sidekick. And you can see the tension between them on screen, so yeah, move Julia to Raw, put her with Asuka. They'd be a great team. And Julia could actually do something relevant. Because even as the US champion, they did nothing with her.
And what's bugged me on the Julia situation is, why are they doing the open challenge for Tiffany Stratton, but they did not do it with Julia? And I mean, I adore Tiffany, for obvious reasons. But why didn't you do an open challenge under Julia?
Oh, they just don't know what to do with Julia.
Should have kept her in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I digress.
All right, I'm really torn on this one, but Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker honestly could go either way. It would be a great rub for Breaker to get the win, and he's definitely got the physical advantages to get the win. But it would also make sense for Seth to win, being that he's been out for so long. They kicked him out of division, so there's pros for both of them winning. The only thing I can think of is Bronson Reed comes back as well, helps Braun win.
That is very true about Bronson Reed, because he has been doing a little bit of tweeting recently, saying that he could be returning, like a little bit of a hint there. This match is the hardest to call of all 5 matches. On Raw, you literally had Breaker demolishing Rollins recently. he has been literally tearing Rollins apart. However, I think if Seth wins, it will not do any damage to Braun because, like I said, you could still have matches down the line. Remember, there's still Saturday Night's main event. You got Clash in Italy still to come. But on my opinion, I think I'm gonna go with the Beast Braun Breaker to win this, and he needs to win over Seth because I don't think Seth will need it to really
Well,
get this kid going.
well, with that logic, I mean, yeah, because listen, Seth, there's no doubt in my mind, this ain't gonna hurt Seth at all. Like, Seth is always gonna be Seth freaking Rollins, and that sets up for him to, I don't know, go a different direction, take a little time off, whatever he has planned, and start focusing, more on doing his own thing. He doesn't really necessarily need a title right now. I think he's far enough in his career where he don't need a title, but Braun Breaker, he's been like, you seen it on Raw. We all seen it. He whooped Rollins' ass that whole entire night. Even when Seth tried to rally a defense, still wasn't enough. Even with Street Profits out there and Joe Hendry, wherever he was at, still wasn't enough. And with Bronson Reed coming back, Division strength is going to be back to full strength, even though they don't have the beast Brock Lesnar no more. But still, I mean, Braun's going to get the win.
I think ultimately this has to lead to a 4-on-4 with Division at full strength, Seth teaming with the Street Profits and Joe Hendry. I don't know what, probably Clash in Italy. So yeah, I'm gonna go Breaker 2 and ballsy prediction that Bronson Reed makes his return as well.
I think so because I think Division needs him because obviously when you went into WrestleMania, they were completely ice cold.
They were dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's dead and buried. But
yeah, like you had Logan Paul and Bag of Dicks Raw Edition over there. Nah.
And poor Heyman. Like
they should have. Oh, sorry.
It's so often now, especially when Brock was around. Obviously, Paul Heyman was in his corner and behind him all the time. But then you'd have Logan Paul and Austin Theory coming out without Paul Heyman. He just didn't give a shit. All right, next match. Hey, I don't think it's a question of will Danhausen win. I think the biggest question is who's his partner.
I fear the worst.
It can't be John Cena. You cannot pull John Cena out of retirement. He's already doing too much in his retirement already. The most, I don't know if it's obvious, but the most logical choice would be Elton Prince, Kit Wilson's former partner.
And I'm going to touch on John Cena in a bit, by the way. It does not need to be John because let John enjoy his retirement. Actually, no, I'm going to get to that part right now, actually. WWE thrown the bat signal. Oh, we'll get John in because the tickets are not
They're
great.
panicking.
I don't know. Panic mode. Like, John give everything to this company for how many years was he in the E?
23 years? 24?
23.
24. 23.
They don't need John Cena. They only brought him in for the same reason as The Rock came in 2025 at the Elimination Chamber. They're thinking they're going to get a new story with John involved. No. Let John do what he needs to do. Be with his hot-ass wife that he's got. Even let him make a baby if he wants one. I mean, that's obviously down to John, of course. But in the match, I do not think that this is a pay-per-view match.
Alright, you give Danhausen a pay-per-view match.
I agree, but maybe then maybe at the Clash in Italy, because I think you'll be over it in abroad as well. They had the chance to give Fatal Influence that give them the chance to show that they're going to be the dominant thing on SmackDown. You've missed out on having Rhea Charlotte and Alexa against Fatal Influence. That match would have been great. Because that's where you build JC Jane as the best heel on SmackDown. Once again, WWE failed again. But in regard of the Danhausen, like, who cares about The Miz in 2026? It ain't 2016 anymore. When you had The Miz as probably one of the best things on SmackDown Live, when him and Nick Nemeth were going at it.
It is fun watching Danhausen torment him. On the match, the people being left on the card, that's the problem with Triple H's 5-match specials. We think, okay, it gives him more time to wrestle, but it doesn't, because they just fill the fucking show full of ads, so it doesn't really benefit anybody by just booking 5 matches. You could easily go back to the old pay-per-view formula of 7 or 8 matches, get more people on the show, like you just said, with Fatal Influence, there's a rivalry there. Rhea Ripley. There's more matches you could fit on this show if you took out all the motherfucking adverts and sponsors.
Amen.
Just give us 7 matches, couple of backstage segments, just like pay-per-views used to be. But now you have to advertise everything.
You got to advertise DoorDash 7 times.
Slim
you got
Jim.
to advertise Slim Jim. You got to advertise TurboTax. You got to advertise Hulk Hogan's documentary. You got to advertise the next pay-per-view. Then you got to advertise some shit that don't even matter. And then, 5-minute match. 1, 2, 3.
WWE has just become a giant billboard with a little bit of wrestling sprinkled through.
Right.
On Elton Prince, so he suffered his broken neck pretty much exactly a year ago. It was last May. And then he had neck fusion surgery in January. So I don't know what the time frame would be on his return, whether it's too soon. I'm definitely no expert on broken necks.
Nah, neither way. I think this is going to be probably a chance of a weird one. Because if you look at Danhausen, look at the history he's got with people. He's got a history with CM Punk, because they're good friends in real life. Are they going to throw in the Cody bat signal again? Because obviously they always seem to want Cody Rhodes on every pay-per-view. Or are they going to chuck in a surprise Kevin Owens? What you think? Kevin Owens and Danhausen would be fun together, and then you have the great way to bring back Kevin Owens. But WWE are going to do the gay-ass thing as usual. They are going to put a celebrity. And I tell you now, if you've got an idiot like Stephen A. Smith or fucking Jelly Roll coming in, I might even just turn the show off and just wait for Jacob and Roman. Because I don't want to see more celebrities on my television. If I wanted to watch celebrities, I can just put the news on.
You watch Anton Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bingo. Full house on that one. You could watch on Saturday Night's Takeaway. If that show still goes, by the way. But I still think this match is not needed. But yeah, it's good to have Danhausen having a pay-per-view match. Because obviously, we all know he's probably one of the better things in the E at the moment. And I'm obviously going to go Danhausen and whoever his partner is. I hope it's Punk. And then that'll start showing that CM Punk is going to go to SmackDown. Because that show needs a bit of life. And I think CM Punk would be the number one option. And they could start the build between Punk and Cody. Sign me up for that.
So I think we're all agreeing that Team Danhausen probably going to win, whoever the partner is. I'm just not sure if it's going to be able to be Elton Prince.
I doubt it
to return.
I'd be very surprised if it is.
I don't think it'd be Elton Prince. Shit. Hell, let it be somebody they don't advertise much on TV. Let it be a Royce Keys, or let it be somebody.
Ooh, this is why we're glad we've all got different opinions here. This is why I'm glad of this. Like, Royce Keys, could this be a great way to get this guy over? To have him to literally come in and literally beat the piss out of both Miz and Get Wilson. So yeah, Royce Keys is an outside chance. Even though I still love to call him Powerhouse Hobbs, because obviously he's still Hobbs to me. But Hobbs isn't a bad option.
Yeah, I like how they keep throwing in the Powerhouse references.
For sure.
All right, so we'll just put in that Danhausen is our pick, and if you have any better suggestions for who his partner is going to be, let us know in the meantime. So for the main events, for me, it's pretty clear that you can't really take the title off of Roman Reigns a month after WrestleMania. However, he is going to be off TV for the whole of June now, despite the fact he said he was going to be around all summer.
And he's followed the Eston part and said that June is not an option, so he wanted to take all of June off. So he took our good buddy Eston's advice. Well, Paul Heyman recently said that there's going to be surprises at Backlash. You know, everyone says that. You know, Triple H has got a whole full history of saying things like this.
It's a new era.
I don't believe a new era. What era is it? This is a great sign I saw on SmackDown. It was called Ruthless Depression because that's what we're in right now. It's in the worst stage I've ever seen. But Jacob Fatu, obviously, he's used that. Is it the Tongan?
The death
Is it
grip.
the tongue death grip? He's had the best of Roman in the last 2 weeks. This is to build Jacob Fatu. I don't know whether he's going to be a heel. I don't think it's going to work as a heel because when he first came in, he was over straight away.
Oh, he's been over from day one.
Because they know how how much of a bad motherfucker he is. So that's why Jacob won the hearts of the fans straight away. I think it's in foregone conclusion Roman's going to win because this is going to be a test to see if Jacob Fatu is World Championship ready, even though I think Jacob is. However, taking the belt off Roman, but also for me, has Roman really said, fuck you, I ain't taking no fucking pick off you motherfuckers? I think we'll get to that later on as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a possible chance that Fatu may win the title now at Backlash, but I'm going to go Roman. The big dog.
It would be nice. It would be a nice surprise if Jacob won.
Okay. So Roman's obviously winning, right? But let's just think outside the box here. They just got rid of Tonga Loa and they just got rid of JC Mateo. So with the MFTs not having full strength, will they get involved in the match? Will Jimmy and Jay get involved in the match? Will it be all tribal warfare? Who else could they bring in? They can bring in Lance. I know they can bring in Lance. I can't even say the name. Hawaii.
Yeah.
Maybe this opens the door for Zilla to come in. And it just causes a whole bunch of chicanery. Now, will it happen? Probably not. But at the same time, just think about it. Like, you're bringing in all your friends, not friends, you're bringing all your family and cousins in because Tama Tonga, he just lost his real life brother to a release. So will Tama Tonga be gone too, or is he staying? Or, there's a lot of what ifs in this scenario, but it's too soon to take the belt off Roman, especially after a month in. Yeah, they're going to let Roman win.
Yeah, I can't see him taking the title off Roman right after WrestleMania in his first defense. I don't know why he's missing June. I'm assuming he'll be back for Night of Champions in Riyadh at the end of June, I think. But it seems like he's missing Clash in Italy, which is the end of this month. So either way, it seems like he's probably going to get written off TV for a few weeks, and then maybe have a rematch. But yeah, Roman has to retain. You don't go through all that to put him back on top just for him to drop it right away.
Even though that there's always been whispers of Zilla Fatu coming in for a long time, I think many people have vouched to bring this guy in. But I think Zilla still has a lot of independent days. So I don't know whether people think it'd be unfair for Zilla to pull out. I still think he's a champion on an indie promotion. But what I like Zilla in, damn straight. You can get that motherfucker in any time. But it's the ending of the match, whether it's going to be the Usos possibly could be turning heel and turn on Roman. Is it going to be Jacob like falling in line like Jay did? If you remember in 2020 when Jay fell in line after he lost I think he lost at the first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So that was when the whole Bloodline story then began. I think the prospect of Jacob having to fall in line, I don't think that's good, because you'll take away the bad animal that he is and literally make him to a bitch, which I don't want, because I adore Jacob. But I turn the Usos heel. It's time. Stop delaying it.
They're kind of tiptoeing around with Jay. Jimmy's really good as a face, but Jay, he's just so on the fence. Like, yeah, the yeet's over, but most of the time he's acting heelish. So
Jimmy's like the cool cousin in a way. So if you go to a party or you go to town on a Saturday night and you get like your family coming over, Jimmy's that cool one that come over and say, let's have a shot, let's do this, let's do that. And Jay's like the dead boring one, and not like dead serious, who will just be like, no, I'll stick with one drink all evening. Where's the party environment in Jey Uso?
Well, the party ended when he lost the world title, so that's where that went. But he was still yeeting around, but at the same time, I mean, hell, they got a lot of family members out there, so the bloodline story will probably run through the rest of our lives. But for now, we'll just see what happens on Saturday between Roman and Jacob. It could be anybody's guess, anybody's ball game, but we all know that we're going to acknowledge one person at the end of that match, and that's Roman.
Yeah. And you know what? You think Jay would be in a better mood yeeting with Miss Parker?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people be fucking doing that when you've got Miss Parker.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we've got even predictions from the three of us. Don't forget, the Predictions Championship is officially back. The current champion is Chris Durham. With these 5-match PLEs, the problem is a lot of people are probably going to be going the same way, just like us. So if there does happen to be a tie, Chris has the privilege of choosing a co-champion. That's, of course, if he retains. But still to come, the King of the Mic begins. But for now, it's time to hop in our Wrestling DeLoreans for a very short trip on This Week in Wrestling History. May 4th, 2002, the force was strong in London for WWE's 3rd annual Insurrection event, which was also the last ever WWE event under the WWF banner. Featuring Rob Van Dam versus Eddie Guerrero for the Intercontinental Championship, Trish Stratus and Jacqueline versus Molly Holly and Jazz, the Hardy Boys versus Brock Lesnar and his partner Shawn Stasiak. If I remember rightly, Brock just beat everybody up. Stone Cold versus The Big Show with Ric Flair as a special referee, and Triple H versus The Undertaker in the main event. But the biggest story was the flight back home, because that was the infamous plane ride from hell, which featured a brawl between Kurt Hennig and Brock Lesnar, and Ric Flair living up to his name of the Nature Boy by playing Human Helicopter.
Did you see the Dark Side of the Ring on that?
Yes, I did.
And the amount of stories on that. It's when you had X-Pac doing a shoot interview based on that, and he said that he cut Michael P. Hayes' his ponytail off, because obviously Michael Hayes always had that retarded ponytail. X-Pac apparently cut it off, and the amount of drugs, alcohol they must have consumed on that plane ride. Holy shit, I would not allowed to spin a fly on the wall during that plane.
The poor pilot. What else? There's also Dustin Rhodes apparently got on the PA system and started singing to Terry Runnels.
I can't blame him, but But yeah, it was a very weird one, because they're not long divorced. I think it might have been
exactly.
2 years.
And that's why he started singing. So if anybody's unfamiliar with the plane ride from hell, that Dark Side of the Ring episode is definitely one to check out.
And that was also Scott Hall's, God rest his soul. Scott Hall was sadly released, and just incredible, from ECW guy. He actually said on interview because Scott Hall was that wasted, that build up, that he had to put Scott Hall in a wheelchair to weld him through customs and when he got back to the States.
Yeah.
And that's where Jim Ross sadly saw him and he just shook his head. And then a couple of days later, he was out of a job, and we love Scott, God rest his soul. But that was the last time even Scott was on WWF at the time, WWF television.
Yeah, well, maybe it wasn't a good idea to have an open bar on that plane.
Damn right.
Moving on to May 4th, 2024, the Force was definitely strong in Lyon, France at Backlash. Fondly remembered for the incredible noise of the crowd, particularly for AJ Styles as he main evented with Cody Rhodes. The French fans were nuts. So loud that the cameras were shaking.
I think that crowd and Puerto Rico are two of the best crowds I think I've ever seen. France were absolutely insane. Like, when you look at the obviously we're crazy over in the UK, but some of the American crowd, they're just like, yeah, we're just there just for the hell of it. Canada's the same. And I got Canadian friends, I apologize. Like, yeah, we pay money. We got tickets. It's like, make some noise then. Enjoy the atmosphere. I know the product sucks right now, but it's like, at least make a little bit of noise. But France, they were all night. This is why I would not mind WrestleMania to go to somewhere like France. Go somewhere like London. I think we deserve it more, but obviously I would not be disgraced if France have it.
Oh, no, I think Lyon deserves it.
Because many people would fly and to Lyon. Because Lyon's beautiful, by the way. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful place where I've heard. Give WrestleMania. You've given them to Saudi Arabia. You've given them what they want. Even though I don't think Vince McMahon would be over his dead body to give WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia. I would be thrilled for Lyon if they had it, or Paris.
Yeah.
Give them what they deserve. They deserve it after that crowd. Puerto Rico I wouldn't be unhappy with as well.
Can you imagine the atmosphere? Could you imagine the atmosphere of just being in France and London, Puerto Rico, and you hear Obafemi's theme hit, and you just see everybody just strutting along?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be fun.
The cameras would break, never mind shake.
And that would be one of the craziest atmospheres you probably think you could ever imagine. But give WrestleMania to somewhere in Europe. Don't want it to go back to Saudi Arabia next year. We're not going back to freaking Vegas. I plead.
I mean, honestly, with everything going on, I'm surprised they're still going for Night of Champions.
Well, for what has been said this morning, and I think this is 100% the right move, because obviously they're doing the European tour that's coming over here, and they're actually going to be doing a SmackDown in London on a Tuesday, which for me is 100% the right move, because they're only going to go to Saudi Arabia just to do the pay-per-view, and then they're getting the fuck out of there. Even though they should not have the pay-per-view there.
No.
It's stupid. When you got President Dipshit, causing fucking crap as usual, because, we all hate President Dipshit. Do not go to Saudi Arabia. If this shit continues going into WrestleMania next year, they're going to be there for about 10 days, and their whole damn lives are on the line just to make an extra couple of million quid. Fuck TKO. Just make the talent sure they go to Saudi Arabia for the Night of Champions, whatever the fuck the pay-per-view is called, and get them out.
Yeah.
The same night.
Of course, craziest things has happened before. They can still change their minds. It's still early.
I actually had a message earlier today from Scouts Mysterio, who we last saw at Promo Mania. Obviously, not doing very well after his loss to Robert Davis. So the message reads, "Yeah, kid. What's going down, Cap? I would very much appreciate it if I could take your spot in King of the Mic. Please let me do it for another king, old Kenny." Signed, Scouse. So, you know what? Being as one of our GMs is not here this week, and being as I actually have a little more control anyway, I'll oblige. I will surrender my spot. Scouse Mysterio, you are now in King of the Mic, and you can take on Black Burnham in the first round.
Ooh, good luck, fam.
Good luck, buddy.
Talking all the time. We prefer me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah.
I got a gun for a mouth and a bullet for a tongue. Everybody down.
Everybody down. It's time to unload. Everybody down.
Max Wrestling presents Full House, May 21st on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com for more information.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Welcome back to Max Wrestling. I am your captain along with Beer and Cypher. Speak their names and they appear. If you like what you've seen so far, make Max Wrestling your new home. We have pizza. All you gotta do is drop a people's elbow on that like button and a 5-knuckle shuffle on the subscribe button, because that's how the algorithm works. We're here every single week because it's a Thursday thing. And for those who prefer the old-fashioned podcast, follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, including, just for Mike Larkin, Cast Bizox.
You are damn right there. And all things Max Wrestling, head over to the beautifully done website at maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. Also, it's never over until after the podcast, because do not forget to join our very own Cypher for the Aftermax Live on Facebook right after the show. QR code to our Facebook group is on the screen right now. There could be anything. There could be guests, could be challenges. It is unpredictable as they come, so I like to say we're going to get a t-shirt of this, by the way. So scan and go after the show.
Alright, and speaking of Beer and Cypher, they're both here this week, and they're opening up the 2026 King of the Mic tournament. It's time to get the show on the road. King of the Mic is very simple. It is a knockout tournament, TV rules, so you know how it goes, best time wins.
It's always good to know your opponent. And the opponent I'm facing today is no stranger. Me and him have went back and forth time and time again. But as the years went on, I gotta say, Jonathan Lynch has become kind of lackluster. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you do in this situation? He's gonna say everything that he has to about me, right? Right. But at the same time, what can I say about Jonathan Beer? Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, without further ado, I'm going to give you a prime example of how a Jonathan Beer promo starts out. Because you see, it simply goes like this. Jonathan Beer He likes to steal material. He likes to plagiarize. But also, he likes to waste everybody's time. And see, it kind of starts out like this. Him pissing in the wind. Now, I digress. I got nothing respect for Jonathan Beer and his accolades that he has here in Max Wrestling, but at the same time, this is one of many prime examples of what you'll get out of the experience of a Jonathan Lynch promo. And it's not just me who says it. It's everybody that says it. Blade says it. Max Wrestling says it. TSK says it. RWT says it. Hell, probably your own teammate says it. Especially Craig Phoenix, the world champion. I mean, hell, the guy ain't been the same since he lost the damn title. He's mourning like a fucking midwife who just lost their son to war. But, I don't want to cut too deep, you know. I kind of feel like that doesn't really suit what are you trying to accomplish here in Max Wrestling, right? So without further ado, this is what you do with a Jonathan Lynch promo. You simply wash your hands with it. Because see, cleanliness is next to godliness, and Beer thinks he's God. But he's no God. He's just a boy living in a man's world, thinking that he can cry and bitch and moan to get his way to the top. He's like a mattress actress. He's just trying to earn his way through. But, no, we don't want to cut too deep here, King of the Mic. It wouldn't be fair to Jonathan Beer. It wouldn't be fair to anybody. Especially you good folks at home. So, as the third and final lesson of this promo game here in King of the Mic, what do? You simply wash your hands of all the dirt, the filth, and everything that represents Jonathan Beer, and you simply throw it in the trash. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you can expect from a Jonathan Lynch promo. Because although he will say everything against me of how I lost to him so many times, again, I'm always one step ahead. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been a learning experience for us all. So make sure you catch the Jonathan Beer's promo, because what you've seen here today was literally what you'll see in King of the Mic. Well, on his end. You get nothing from entertainment from yours truly, Cypher, the four-time television champion. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we learned everything we needed to learn about Jonathan Beer. So without further ado, Jonathan, take it away.
Shock the system.
Just look at me. Ever since Promomania, I have been sitting in absolute mourning since I lost my world championship. And to quote a certain theme song, I think I've hit rock bottom. I personally think I've hit rock bottom. When I lost my world championship, I considered a lot of things. I considered quitting Max Wrestling permanent. I considered doing all sorts. Retiring. Do I quit for good? But you know what? This is in the end, right? The only way nowadays is up, right? Yeah. And you know what? Ever since I'm the comeback kid, and what I'm gonna do is I'm starting with King of the Mic. I have come close to winning this thing, but my buddy El Jefe decided to ruin my dream. But This is the first step of me becoming Ultimo Beer. I'm winning everything this year. Ultimo Beer is going to be something that none of you schmucks have ever done before. Yeah, that's right. You lot don't like it, don't you? The moment I become Ultimo Beer, all you're going to do is sit in your seats, cry like bitches, because you know when I become King of the Mic, that's mission number 1. But I do have to go through you, Corey. I have to go through Cypher the Prophet, the host of the Aftermax podcast. I sit and I watch you talk to all these people, and you're damn good at it. You're good at what you do. But do you respect me? Do you respect the fact that I put a lot of things to a side and I want to become the best at what I do? You don't respect me, don't you? You gotta remember, Cypher, last time I think we fought each other, didn't I take your television championship when I became Beer Dussenshaw? Yeah, I remember it very well because you planned a funeral for me to ruin my hopes of ever coming Beer Dussenshaw, but you failed, didn't you? You failed. While you were by a graveside, the only thing that was with the grave was me standing over your head with our television championship. But this is a new game. This is new. This is a brand new start for me because there is nothing more that I want to put all these little punks to bed and to make sure that my destiny is winning everything this year. And when we get to December and when I become Ultimo Beer, there's nothing none of you can do about it. When I had Corrupt Captain and Petty Phoenix, all of them, the world is against me. The world is against me. All you idiots were happy. All you clowns were all happy. You saw me at an all-new low 2 weeks ago. And that also included one of your buddies, Chris Reed. You were laughing at me. So, let me think, Chris Reed as well. Where were you at Promo Mania, huh? You were sitting on the sidelines because your bitch ass got destroyed by DC. And your ass has not been back here since. But anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. But who cares? Corey, I love you a lot. I love you like a brother. But, dude, this is personal to me. This is personal at the fact that I want to reclaim everything that I ever lost. You hold something that I possess. Petty Phoenix holds something that I want. And I was going to be this close to beating Rob Davis. But if it wasn't for Petty Phoenix, Corrupt Captain, literally everyone is against me. But believe you me, you're going to see an all-new side of me. When I said that I would never bring Cold-Blooded Beer back, I never said about him. He's around. And let me go one step further. So when I reclaim my world championship, it's not going to be the old world championship. It's going to be the real world champion. And all I can tell you is, Craig, I am the real world champion. Corey, you're just a stepping stone. You're just something like a side mission to me. And all you have to do is just back out. Back out before this gets painful. And I don't care who I have to go through to win this King of the Mic tournament. You are talking to Beer
Be a two-time World Heavyweight Champion. This is Beer, three-time Iron Bank contract winner. And also, I still hold the power of when I want to cash in. I could cash in on your title if I want to. Maybe I'll save that for a different day. Oh, Corey, the choice is yours to back out right now, and the rest of you schmucks to back out and let me start my destiny of becoming the greatest of all time in Max Wrestling history. History's coming this year, and I'm making sure of it. Bye! Bye-bye for now! Bye!
And your winner, as a result of overtime, Cypher!
Now, an in-depth look at Tuesday night. It may not be black and gold, but Beer is here to talk NXT.
Right, what's good, everyone? This is Beer. This is your NXT review. We start off with Jada Parker going one-on-one with Callie Armstrong. This was not a bad match, if I'm very honest. Quite a very slow-paced match. Callie picks up the win, but the Callie connector for the 3 count. Next up, Robert Stone's talking to Tony D'Angelo, who said that he is a hunter, but still a hunter. Tony D'Angelo wants Tavion Heights a little bit later on in the night. And later on in the night, Tony attacks Tavion, and Stone does agree to the match. We go through a video package of last week with Evil, who recently arrived from New Japan. The name change has been confirmed. His name now is Naraku, which is abyss or hell in the Japanese. Next match, Jackson Drake goes one-on-one with Jasper Troy. Wasn't a bad match. We have the debut of Mika Lockwood, who was the gal that was with Jackson Drake on the date last week, which was a decent little match. And Jackson picks up the win. We do then have a vignette of Tristan Angels. He is 22 years old, a very hot prospect. His name is Mr. England, as he tends to call himself. He runs down talent such as Shiloh Hill, Miles Bourne, Hank and Tank as well. I can see this guy being one of the next breakout stars. Before we hear from Zara, we have an NXT Origins, which shows of baby mommy, Rhea Ripley. She said she learned about the business, who she is as a person. She wants to inspire the younger superstars. Zarya makes her way to the ring with a more darker look, to be interrupted by Tatum Paxley, as Zarya is looking to go for the Women's North American Championship. We then have the legend known as Lizzie Rain. She then comes down, says she's a new blood of the locker room and she wants to add a bit of heavy metal. Nikita Lyons comes down as well. She's a bit boring. Lizzie then hits the Thunderstruck, and then Tatum hits the Cemetery Driver on Zarya. Zarya then fights out and hits the F5. Zarya standing tall in the segment. Vanity Project meet Romeo Moreno, who's a new guy coming in. We do get the return of Noam Dar. I forgot he was still employed by the company. Noam challenges Jackson Drake next week, and then Michael Lockwood confirms that he's happy to be with her. So pretty good shit. Tony D'Angelo gets backstage by Cam Hendricks. Tony D is really getting fucking destroyed recently. It's good to see a champion, though. Then we have the main event of the night. Sees Izzy Dame and Nico Vance in a tag team match against Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. And Izzy picks up the win. She rolls up Lola for the 3 count, hits the running knee. Not a bad show. There's so many new faces around, which is pretty good shit. Hank and Tank go 1-on-1 in a tag team match by Panda, and that is against Cutler James and Osiris Griffin. Dax, they pick up the win. Wasn't a bad match. Was not a bad match. Kalani Jordan backstage with Lola Vice saying that she needs to worry about her, but to be interrupted by Kendall Gray. I love that woman. Kalani said that she'll have to tell Kendall she needs to choose between friendships and championships. We do get a new face, Emily Agard. She is the new member of the NXT announce team. She has her first assignment, difficult. That is with Keanu Carver. Emily had one of the toughest moments to start the show, her first day on the job in NXT. So she had to interview Keanu Carver. Keanu was a bit of a douche to her, even though Emily is beautiful. Not very nice, that Keanu. Shallow Hill talks about the win that he had last week over the newest SmackDown star, Ricky Saints. Tristan Angel said he doesn't. Tristan Angel is not impressed, and Shallow Hill's also not impressed. So he asked the fans for some insults he can use. Next week, we do get some matches. We get Jackson Drake versus Noam Dar, Kendall Gray versus Kalani Jordan, and then we do get an in-ring debut of Naraku. And main event of the night sees Tony D'Angelo go 1-on-1 with Tavion Heights. And then it was a very good win for Tony. Tony gets the 3 count after 10 minutes. Tony pulls up Tavion for a handshake, and we do get Will Cruz come in. Will Cross, fucking legend already. His now name is Mason Rook. And we do get the chance of Big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. Now, this guy is going places. He got endorsed by John Cena. So if you get endorsed by John Cena, you know you've done well. Anyway, solid show. I'd say 7 out of 10. Anyway, it's time. My source is saying me it's time. It's time. It's last night on Dynamite, but it's not with Al Jefe this week. We're going to go over to the Cap. Captain, take it away. This is weird without Al Jefe.
So it's kind of last night on Dynamite and Collision this week because they did both shows back to back because it is Fairway to Hell this Saturday night. But you know what? The 3-hour Dynamite didn't really feel like 3 hours, even though I watched it this morning without all the ads. But there you go. Naturally, the show opened with Tony Schiavone and Sting paying tribute to the late great Ted Turner, of course, one of the pioneers of network wrestling. Put pro wrestling on the map on TNT and TBS, and of course it's always great to see Sting. Schiavone was getting a little bit choked up, but he carried it through, and obviously it was nice to see the two of them, obviously both working for Ted Turner back in the day in WCW. Following the opening, we moved on to the first match because naturally Jon Moxley has to have the opening match. He taps out Juice Robinson with the Bulldog choke to retain the Continental Championship. And it was a pretty hard-hitting match, to be fair to him. And it's not very often we see Juice Robinson in singles competition or see him in general these days. So it was good to see him against somebody of the caliber of Jon Moxley. Then we get earlier backstage footage, which shows Will Ospreay training with the Death Riders. I don't know what the fuck's going on there because a few weeks ago he wanted to kill Jon Moxley for breaking his neck, and now they're sparring. Whatever. But unfortunately, this segment opens with Bag of Dicks doing all the talking, and we then see Ospreay doing his press-ups and Mox giving him some wise words of wisdom. We then get Orange Cassidy defeating Cash Wheeler, which earns the Conglomeration a tag team title match, and then right after the bell, all hell breaks loose with the Young Bucks, Cope and Cage all brawling with FTR and Tommaso Ciampa. I'm really enjoying Ciampa's alignment with FTR. I think they work really well as a trio. I gotta say, I'm loving Jericho in this run. Considering how unpopular he was before his lengthy absence from AEW last year, he's come back with all the charisma that we expect from the iconic Ayatollah of Rock and Roller. That's a throwback for you. But Jericho comes out, calls out the demand for a match with Ricochet. Ricochet raises the stakes and challenges Jericho to a Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing, because it's not Double or Nothing without a Stadium Stampede. Jericho accepts. They start brawling, and then out come the Hurt Syndicate to back up Jericho. So Jericho and Hurt Syndicate only need 2 more partners, and Ricochet and the Demand also need 2 more partners. And I did think who it was going to be, but I forgot. But anyway, that's your 5-on-5 set for Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing. Backstage with Renee, Mina Shirakawa accidentally exposes Harley Cameron ahead of their match with Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. Mina literally just ripped the shirt because she thought she was wearing her wrestling gear underneath. She wasn't. She was just wearing a bra. And Renee's like, you need to go put something on.
Best segment, like, maybe ever.
For some reason, tits just follow Mina Shirakawa everywhere. We then get more action in the ring as Kazuchika Okada defeated Brian Keith to retain the International Championship in a textbook Okada performance, just reaffirming his status as the GOAT of Japan, if you will. But after the match, he sets his sights on the World Championship, and I think this is like the first time Okada's really set his sights on the world title in AEW since he's been there. He's always been, just fucking around with Kenny Omega or the mid-card titles, but it'll be very interesting to see Okada back in the main title picture in AEW. He's challenging Darby Allin next week. Backstage, Kevin Knight, of course, he's preparing for his own challenge. He's going to face Darby in the main event. Also backstage, Samoa Joe and the Ops warn Will Ospreay against the Death Riders and then offer him an alternative by joining them. Again, like I said, I don't know what the fuck's going on with Will Ospreay and the Death Riders. But now he's in a tug of war between the Death Riders and the Ops. So again, we're going into All in August, and hopefully we'll have some resolution by then, because Ospreay needs to be in that world title picture, as Moses has been saying for weeks, if not months. Go ahead.
This story with Ospreay and the Death Riders makes 0 sense. They tried to kill this motherfucker not long ago, but now he's like best friends with them. I would have still had anarchy in the arena between the United Empire with Windsor against the Death Riders. Why, they should have continued that.
Yeah, where are the United Empire? We haven't seen them since.
I think they're back in Japan already. Didn't take long.
No, so he called them in for a brawl with the Death Riders a few weeks ago. Then he gets taken down in the middle of the ring by, was it Mark Davis? And then the Death Riders come out, carry him out, and now all of a sudden he's training with them. I don't get it. But the doctor also is backstage with Ospreay and saying, if he's clear on his scans and everything next week, I'll clear him. So, okay. Will Ospreay should be back at 100% in the next couple of weeks, apparently. All thanks to new training regimes, he said. We then get the women's tag match. Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida defeat Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa. Moving backstage, Swerve Strickland and Bandito were throwing shots at each other. We're not seeing so much of Swerve lately, because literally this was like a quick 30-second promo, and I don't even remember the last time we saw him in the ring. So I think we need more Swerve, please, and thank you.
With Kenny, I think the last time we saw
yeah, I think it was
Strickland.
And Kenny's had a world title match since then.
Right.
For following that, we had the main event of Dynamite, which kind of the ending bled into Collision, or the post-match bled into Collision. But Darby Allin gets another retention on his belt as he defends the World Championship against Kevin Knight. And, it's your average Darby Allin match lately. He just goes balls to the wall, hits him with 2 coffin drops to finish him off, and is half dead at the end of the match. Out comes Sting to celebrate, and then we immediately go into Collision where MJF arrives to again demand his rematch. He offers his scarf, he offers his diamond ring, which technically isn't his right now because Roosh won it. But Darby shoots him down and says the only way he's going to give him a world title match is if MJF puts his hair on the line, which I wasn't expecting, I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be something bigger than that. But then, of course, he reminded us that MJF actually had implants, so he paid a lot for that hair. He even offered him $1 million, and Darby said no, he just wants his hair. So they're going to have their contract signing next week, and if MJF doesn't show up, then he's never getting a rematch. So MJF storms off, and then immediately out comes Okada to get his own match with Darby, which is going to go down next week. Then going into Collision, it's pretty much run-of-the-mill match segment, so I'm just going to run through the quickest results. Mike Bailey defeated AR Fox, then backstage, Willow Nightingale vows to defend the TBS title and its legacy every week. Jamie Hayter defeated Sky Blue and then stares down Thekla and Julia Hart in the crowd. Backstage, the Don Callis family looks to claim more gold, apart from Takeshita, unfortunately. Roosh squashes Manny Low. Jungle Boy climbs a cliff literally just to tell Mark Davis, fuck you. That's basically the whole segment. And then in the main event of Collision, the Bang Bang Bucks defeat the Death Riders and the Dogs. And I think that's the only time I've watched Collision in probably at least a year and a half. And it's only because it followed right after Dynamite. So maybe that's the key. You put Collision on after Dynamite.
Maybe. You know who I'd like to see team up with the Demand? The Dogs. And then Jericho and the Hurt Syndicate. And they can have maybe Private Party. I don't know. Just out here throwing names in the hat. Somebody ain't showed on TV in a while.
Yeah.
A good idea to have, because obviously I don't want to see MVP. Well, I love MVP. Dude's fantastic at talking. He's a great wrestler as well when he was back in the E. But do you want to see MVP wrestle in 2026, especially in a match like Stadium Stampede?
No.
No.
I wouldn't say MVP.
Put a returning Wardlow. If Wardlow is cleared, get that big bastard back. And this is going to be a bit of a long shot. Andrade. Get Andrade with Chris Jericho.
Oh, where's Cedric Alexander?
He's in TNA. He's part of the system.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember who I thought could team with Jericho, and that's his last two partners, Brian Keith and Big Bill.
Isn't he still disappointed in them?
I mean, we never really got a conclusion to that because that's when he disappeared and then he came back solo. So we never officially got a breakup but with the Learning Tree. But we never really got a forgiveness or anything either. So I don't know where they stand. But, it was convenient timing that we saw Brian Keith in action this week because we never see him or Big Bill. But regardless, that was Dynamite and Collision this past week. Our 4th annual Full House is in 2 weeks' time. Join us on May 21st for this Max Wrestling Max event as we predict TK's 5-hour extravaganza AEW Double or Nothing. Our television champion looks to make his first defense in his record-breaking 4th reign as he voluntarily gave me a rematch from Promomania, so it will be Cypher versus the Captain, this time under luck of the draw rules, which means one card will determine the winner with the closest time to that card.
Want to make a little bit of something clear after Patty Phoenix last week saying that you want a last man standing match against me. Full House, I'm going to take Full House off, but there is a show that we've got coming very soon. It's called The Great Promo Bash. I will see you there, Beanie Boy.
That's some breaking
I
news for you.
I accept your challenge at the Great Promo Bash, and I'm going to be the rightful champion, because you want to know what? I am the real champion, the real world champion. You may have took my belt off me, but I got my own belt. The real world champion is right in front of you. No corruptions this time. And I was squashing a bug, and I will still hold my thought. I squashed a bug. I did not give up. I don't like insects in my house.
What about the knowledge champion?
I am knowledge champion as well. And also, in regards of that, at Full House, anyone out there, I'm throwing down an open challenge to face me for my knowledge championship. Whoever it is, boys, whoever it is, girls out there, open invitation. And also, you gotta remember, the King of the Mic tournament has begun. So next week it will be Blade Rodriguez facing AT Wrestler. However, 2 more first matches announced will be taken at Full House. As you heard earlier, the captain has given up his entry and allowed newcomer Scout Mysterio to take his place. Very kind of him. He'll be going one-on-one with the return of Black Burnham. Bosh.
It's been too long since we've seen Black Burnham, but there is one person in this tournament that is already a 2-time King of the Mic, and that is Moses Marquez. He goes one-on-one with the best laugh in the business, Rodney Slabovich. Aha! At Full House.
Aha! Is correct then. The theme song is Everybody Down by Captain's Revenge. It's one of my favorite songs. It is on my playlist. It better be on your playlist as well, or TKO will release you. You can check out all music now, wherever you stream music. As always, go to our beautifully done website at maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com for more information. And also, I've just announced for you just now, it'll be a double or nothing rules for my knowledge championships. Whoever wants the match, if you want some, come and get some.
That's right. It wouldn't be the Full House without a double or nothing rules for the knowledge championship. So, like Bea said, you got 2 weeks to answer the challenge. Now, we have a wall, and it has more wankers on it than anyone in Wales today that votes for the Tories. It's time for the wanker wall.
I'm the biggest wanker in this place, man! Hey, no. I'm the biggest wanker in this place, okay? Me, not you.
Okay, I'm going to kick off the wanker wall because we need to make this a weekly thing. 50 points to Ari Emanuel just for running CKO.
Yep, I think that's a very fair opinion there. I do want to give, also, I'll add on top of that, obviously you had the way that Mark Shapiro and Ari Emanuel talking about how much revenue that they make and all that other carry on. But you've made record revenue and you're making the talent take pay cuts. They're the heart and soul of professional wrestling. If you got offered that money, I expect you to jump off the fucking Hell in a Cell. I expect you to do that sort of shit. And then you had Nick Khan signing a new deal.
Yeah.
He's a fucking waste of time. Triple H signing a new deal. His creative is fucking terrible. Some of the worst creative I think I have ever seen. We're getting to Vince McMahon 2019 levels, and that was fucking horrendous. So I'll give 200 points to TKO as well. I think they deserve it.
You might give him a little bit more points when you found out that Nick Khan's thing runs through 2030.
Yeah. And hey, what's he resigned for? Because all he does is just sit in the front row with his family. Every fucking show.
He looks like a robot, says. He look a fucking meme soon.
Fucking useless. And it is a bit of a slap in the face that him and Triple H get brand new deals right after they just cut all this talent loose.
Exactly, fam.
I got a couple of small ones. Corey, you got anybody?
300 points to the ex of Stephanie Valkyrie.
Yes.
Don't know his name.
Yes.
But 300 points to him. You're going to prison, and you deserve to go to prison, sir.
Yeah. I'm not going to say his real name. It's El Quatreo.
It's not El Patron for a change. Not the Alberto Del Rio.
No.
They could be tag team. They could be tag team champions in prison together. Then.
Good.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up. And unfortunately, on that topic, I need to add 50 points to Conan, Dralistico, and Roosh, because the three of them have actually protested against this guy going to prison. And it's like, how can you defend somebody like that? I got no time for domestic violence whatsoever. So 50 points to the three of them as well. Roosh, I thought you were better than that. I'm sure Moses would be disappointed if he was here too.
Oh, my big dog will be fucking fuming with it. Let's think again. We'd already done TKO. Then we got a note already. I want to give 100 points to the sound guy on Friday Night SmackDown for the botch for making us listen to Bremo twice. You know
asshole.
Sound guy. You know this is one of the worst theme songs I have ever heard in my life, and it makes me, it's like pulling out teeth. It hurts. And it makes me, it's like, it hurts your ears that much to listen to anything to do with the Bella Twins. But I will give, how much did I say initially, sorry?
100.
Yeah, let's go 100 because you made it 50 for each time you played that stupid fucking song.
Hey.
No, you didn't even botch it the first time, so why did you play it again? Like, before she even came out, you played it twice. Boys.
Wasn't that not enough punishment?
He wanted to play the remix, obviously.
That was one of my three small ones, so I'll go another one. Also on SmackDown and also with Brie Bella, whoever produced that women's tag title match, 50 points to you, because it was dog shit. It was sloppy. It was slow. There was no chemistry between them whatsoever. Just a terrible match.
I think
y'all brought back Paige for this shit.
Paige should be a single star by now. I'd have left Paige by herself. She does not need Brie Bella. Of all people, Brie stinking Bella.
We could have had a bill. We could have had a bill for Paige and Rhea Ripley at Clash in Italy by now.
Yeah.
Or you could have Paige doing the comeback story. You could have had Paige possibly winning the Women's United States title. I doubt Tiffany Brie won't mind dropping the belt to her, but however, I digress, and I'm not in charge of creative.
Thankfully,
Triple H, you suck right now.
Paige is in great form. You know, I know obviously she came back to AEW, but she still has been out of the ring for a while since she left AEW. And you know what, she was okay in AEW, but she wasn't at her absolute best. But I think now she's definitely gone back to that standard she was in WWE originally.
Yeah, that is fair.
Oh yeah, I want to give ball to TKO as well, actually. Here he is.
There he is.
The boss is back.
50 points to the delivery driver who interrupted the show while I'm trying to do a world-class fucking podcast with Sam fucking Roberts. And I open the door and he still goes to the fucking neighbor.
Good God.
Hey.
Alright, my last one, unless you saw the note while I was off camera, Nikita Lyons, because
good God.
We just released a bunch of talent and then you call her back up to NXT, and I don't understand why, because she's been in WWE, I want to say 3 years. Something
Feels like
that.
Longer than that. I think it's like 4 now.
Yeah, it's about 4 years.
And you were green as goose shit, so they sent you down to Evolve. Now you've come back and you still haven't improved, but you're back on TV while we've just lost other talent from like the main roster. I don't get it.
It's the Instagram life she's living, that Nikita multimedia shit. That's what's killing her. Like, she came in to be a dominant force and ended up just turning into just an Instagram model.
They probably only kept it because she can just shake her ass and all that on Instagram as well. Actually, I want to add on top for TKO. I want to give them an extra 200 points because how could you let the New Day? You let these guys sign a 5-year deal last year. You've let these two guys, who are 18 or 20-year veterans respectively, both of them, you've let one of for me, the greatest tag team ever in the New Day. You're going to let them walk to AEW? And then AEW is going to have the best tag team division in the world, in my personal estimation. And then now they want to try and keep Woods because of the up, down, down channel. If I was Woods, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves. Woods is already a multi-millionaire anyway. And he should buy the rights to up, down, down.
Yeah, we talked last week about how now we can possibly have the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks. A rematch from the old TNA days.
Ooh,
we could finally have the New Day versus the Young Bucks. It's never happened before.
Never before. And we need that. But
the only time we've seen them together is on up, down, down.
Yeah, you saw Kenny Omega look very, very, very excited about the prospect of being on the New Day.
Yeah, releasing them was a major shock. I know they haven't really done much in the last 6 to 8 months, but somebody the level of Kofi Kingston, like, his tenure is up there with R-Truth. And
Truth.
You just cut him loose again with a storyline in development. What was going on between him and Javon? That's going nowhere.
No. Now Javon Evans is the new Kofi Kingston. In a couple of years, we'll have Javon Mania.
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
But I want to give my last 100 points to Lacey Evans for trying to come back to wrestling. You can't come back from that, sweetheart. You cannot come back from that. You just can't get canceled, wait a couple years, and try to decide you want to come back. You were dog shit then, you're dog shit now.
This is a woman that was in Black and Gold, and I knew how bad she was. She was terrible in Black and Gold. Vince called her up. What reasons she has? She has big hoo-has and a massive hoo-ha back there. She was seemingly forced down our throats, hence why Becky's title reign, when she was obviously Becky 2 belts, it was very underwhelming. Except probably the back end of Becky 2 belts. You've Lacey Evans? And they tried everything to repackage her. They failed. She was a face turn. It was a fail. Then you had, obviously, the Ric Flair storyline, which turned out for me, what I would have said is probably one of the worst storylines I think I've ever seen in my whole fucking existence. Was it like, I'm doing rumors saying she was going to win the women's world title at over Charlotte Flair, which would have been a disaster. You've tried repackaging this broad about 5 times. Each time was a fail. If she goes somewhere, maybe TNA may not be a bad option. I don't think they're that desperate. Go on the independent then. Go to GCW. Go somewhere like MLW. Somewhere along those lines. Hell, go to Japan. Learn your trade in Japan. You'll be better in Japan. You'll get your fucking head kicked off, but it is what
nasty.
it is. You're big nasty.
Alright, so those are this week's wankers. Go to the wall, go tell them they suck. Fortunately, not everybody is a wanker, and now it's time for the bruv board. Bruv.
Bruv.
I will open it up with another 50 points for Lizzie Rain. Just a breath of fresh air. Even in NXT, which doesn't even need refreshing, she's still a breath of fresh air. Love the gimmick. I don't think she was a one-hit wonder last week at all, and she held her own in that segment with everybody else, Tatum Paxley. So, yeah, 50 points to Lizzie Rain, and I do believe she does have a very bright future in NXT.
This is a gimmick that's going to get over very quickly. Obviously, it's that 1980s heavy metal, like a rock star in a way. This broad, I'd say, she's going to go places. And you know what? She's only 27, 28 years old. I thought she was a bit older than that. She was obviously the former Rain Leverkusen on the independent circuit. She may be the best signing of the year. Because she has that bit about her. She can cut promos. She can fucking wrestle. And trust me, I would not be surprised if they put at least the North American title on her before the summer. Strike while the iron's hot, Uncle Sean. Like I said, I take things by credit card. I take things by PayPal. I accept everything.
And on the same topic of these newcomers in NXT, new name, Mason Rook, formerly known as Will Cruz, showed up again this week and officially announced his new name. And you know what? Obviously, there's been some trolling online. There's going to be, because he doesn't have a typical look of a wrestler. You know, he does look like the high school bully. Gotta be honest. But the guy can move. He's athletic. I'll be honest, I don't know really much about him on the independent scene, but I've seen his athleticism, and he has a following. He has John Cena's seal of approval, and already he's taken down Tony D'Angelo 2 weeks in a row. So, like I said, I don't know much about him, but I do think he's going to surprise a lot of people when they fully see him in action in the next few weeks or so. So another 50 points to Will Rook, now known as Will Cruz, now known as Mason Rook.
Damn right, I think this guy is gonna go places. He could be literally the British Gabe Kidd. Now people give Gabe Kidd a lot of shit, but if you've never seen Gabe Kidd move in Japan, you could miss out. This guy could be, like I said, the next Gabe Kidd. I love his presentation, and he's going to go places. I think he's still considerably young as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
22.
Is,
22?
Oh, 29, I see.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's 22.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, 29.
Also, I do want to give 50 points to... actually, no, before I get to that one, I want to give 200 points each to Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods for standing up and say, hold
Fuck
that.
you, TKO.
I ain't staying if you're not going to pay us our $7. But the thing is, why did TKO offer to pay for 7-figure deals and then they say, no, hold that, take a pay cut? I don't blame them. Go and get the bag in AEW, and then maybe in a few years' time, when hopefully TKO get the fuck out, Hall of Fame. You cannot have a Hall of Famer without Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E. It is impossible.
No, New Day, I would definitely say, were one of the longest running factions in history. Because, factions come and go, they break up within a couple of years, but New Day pretty much did last like a full decade. And they only really broke down with Big E's injury.
Yeah.
And how Triple H fumbled the heel turn.
Yeah.
Daft bastard. I do want to give 50 points each as well. Well, actually, no. 50 points for each. For Holly Cameron. So 100 points for Holly. And I do want to add on top for 50 for Renee. She literally was going to break character. How many times has Renee nearly broke character with the whole thing with Holly Cameron? Renee's a breath. She's great in AEW, and I'm so glad she's being used well. Because obviously she doesn't have Vince screaming down her ear every week. She just seems more free. And Renee seems to just be having the time of her life. John Moxley, you lucky son of a gun.
Yeah, I loved her on commentary in NXT, and then they wouldn't go with her on Raw purely because she was a female. But she was great on commentary. But you know what? She does absolutely excel as a backstage interviewer. I think it's definitely her strongest point. And she's just fantastic at what she does in AEW.
Even the introduction to the matches as well. Like obviously, when you had with Mox and Juice, and you have like the introduction talking about their record and history. I like that.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Then we get to know the history with them when they worked in Japan. Like we get to know the background of a Juice Robinson against John Moxley, and in most matches, when you had Tekla and Jamie Hayter, I think it was at Dynasty, you get the background history. So Renee does not get the love she deserves. So 50 to Renee. We love you, Renee.
Yeah. Corey, anybody from the Bruv board?
Yeah, 100 points to Sol Ruka for officially joining Raw. And even though she might have botched the Soul Snatch a little bit, I blame the ropes for that, not Soul.
Yeah. They get slippy.
They get slippy.
But you know what impressed me was even though she kind of botched the Soul Snatcher and then went up and followed it through, she still got great reaction even after the botch. Like her music hit again, and they were still cheering for her. So I think she still managed to salvage it. But even before the move, she really held her own, going toe to toe with Becky Lynch on the mic, which is not easy to do. And I love her turning her catchphrase on her. You know, you're a big-headed bitch, and it's not just me saying it. New York Times says it. Sports Illustrated says it.
I'm phony to be. Sorry, Corey.
Go ahead, Bear. Go ahead.
No, you're called Big Dog.
It's just like Sol Ruka. I already feel like she's gonna be the one that dethrones Becky for that Intercontinental Champion. Honestly.
Hey.
Yeah, and give her a good run because I'm sick of hot potato and that women's IC title back and forth between new champion Becky Lynch, new champion Becky Lynch. Yeah, Sol should definitely be the one to dethrone her and go on a lengthy run with it.
And the fact that you had Sol Ruka holding her own against maybe one of the greatest women's talkers of all time in Becky Lynch, because we all know Becky's probably going to be at least in your top 3 of the best promos, like the best storytellers and promos. Sol held her own. She could have easily have crumbled, but she did not. And speaking of that, I do want to give 100 points to JC Jane. She is fucking killing it right now. A win on SmackDown over Charlotte Flair, even though it wasn't clean, but hey, win's a win. And I had a loser on, I might have put it in on the chat saying, Charlotte Flair's buried. How many world title reigns? 14? 15?
I fucking hate these types of fans who overuse the word buried.
They probably don't even know what the word fucking buried is.
They don't. One loss to an up and comer with interference is not going to derail the career of somebody like Charlotte fucking Flair. Chill the fuck out. It's called putting over new talent.
And on top of that as well, I may as well give 50 to Fallon and Laney as well for what they were both wearing. Good lord.
Dude, Fallon is fine.
Alright, so 100 points to the IWC on the wanker wall, which we forgot about.
Even though on the IWC, I do need to give on another 100 for them, obviously, but the whole sticking together with the whole Kairi Sane situation. So I think there's good and bad with these idiots, but some of them can be really cool. Like they've stuck together with the Wyatts. They've stood with Aleister Black and Zelina, and obviously the big one is obviously Kairi Sane. So I give 100 to the IWC for the Bruv board as well. So we're lenient and we're not unbiased.
I'm gonna give 20 points to Akira Tozawa.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna give 20 to Akira Tozawa because he's like all confident going in. He stepped at the open and he's like, you know what? Nope. And I'll give, you know what? I'll give 30 to Otis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get 30 to Otis.
Oh, damn right. I like that.
And you know what? We give weekly points to Obafemi, but I'll double it to 100 this week because when he first started doing this open challenge last week, a lot of people were like, this is going to suck. It's going to get stale very quickly. How do you go from beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to just squashing people every week? But it was really, really good with Otis, and the back and forth with Akira Tozawa before the match was fucking hilarious with Oba's facial reaction, like, fucking serious? And to hit that the fall from grace on Otis from the corner was just pure strength. I don't think Oba is really being affected by open challenges. Clearly, they don't really have anything for him right now. But I don't think he's losing much momentum with these open challenges. And eventually, I don't think it's going to take long before he gets to a championship or Roman Reigns or just a main event feud, maybe Gunther, something like that. But, like we said, where do you go from beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania unless it's a world championship?
Yeah, I think it would be too soon to have Obafemi against Roman Reigns because it's a marquee match. It's a pay-per-view match. I would not be surprised. I'd be a bit surprised if it's SummerSlam. I'd even have it at WrestleMania, but obviously I don't want Roman to hold the title for that long.
Not again.
I would still potentially go with the fact that I think Obafemi should win the Royal Rumble and Braun Breaker should win the world title at SummerSlam. Put the pieces together. Bang. That's your WrestleMania match.
Yeah, sounds good.
Badass versus Obafemi. Jesus Christ.
You know what? I gotta give 50 points to Darby Allin because he is killing it. Being an underdog, even though you're the world champion, being an underdog in all your matches is quite something. But he's literally busting his ass off week after week, defending the title every single week, looking half dead after every match. And, he's not backing down. He's going from killer to killer, from Ciampa. And then he's got Okada next week. And the match at Double or Nothing with MJF is also probably going to slap. Probably going to be bloody. But I get where they're going. Like, I don't expect MJF to lose his hair. So they're going balls to the wall with Darby every week so that you can say, okay, his title reign was short, but he had like 6 defenses back to back, and he threw everything he had at the mat. So it's not necessarily a bad reign. It's just a short one. So 50 points to Darby Allin for doing the damn thing. And 20 points to Roxanne Perez. Because even though I want her to turn on the Judgment Day so bad because she needs to go out there on her own. It is nice that they're kind of making her a focal point of this storyline rather than her just being in the background or being a sidekick. Everybody's like looking at the Judgment Day now going, what's Roxanne going to do? Because surely the Judgment Day cannot last any longer.
It's run its course. It's past its sell-by date. It's like if you have a bottle of milk, if your milk goes stale, what do you do with it?
Throw it away.
You don't put it back in the fridge, do you?
No.
You chuck it out. Judgment Day, the peak was ended when Priest got kicked out, when Rhea got kicked. You should have broke them up then. Dom and Liv could go on their own. I think JD McDonough is the most underrated guy on the roster for me. And we know how great Balor is. Balor's one of the GOATs. On top of that, I want to give 200 points to Andrade. Just recently winning the IWGP Global Champion, and it was a fucking banger for what I heard. So, and Andrade, he's got everything. He's got championship gold. He's a good-looking guy. He gets women every week. He's a real Latino champion. 200 points to Andrade. On a different level since he's gone from the E, gone back to AEW.
And his new catchphrase too. How do you know?
Perfect. Could you imagine if they'd have put Andrade with Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece? But fail.
He was always great with Zelina back in NXT. And then they just didn't know what to do with him on SmackDown.
Caught him up way too soon. And Andrade is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. When he wants to be, he's one of the best.
Yeah. On the previous topic from the Wanker Wall, I think bruv points need to go to Stephanie Vaquer, so I'm going to drop her 100 points. And it's nice to see justice served to pieces of shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, damn straight.
About it this week?
I'm trying to think, really.
Can't really think of nobody else. I mean, trying to think. See what else happened.
All right, let's do the weekly points. Danhausen, Rhea Ripley. We're still doing weekly points to Io Sky. But I'm going to actually, you know what? 50 points extra to Io Sky and 50 points to Asuka, because that was a great segment between those two.
If you want my opinion, I think the E took an easy way out because they know if that was live in the ring, they would have been hijacked with Kairi Sane chance.
But, you know what?
I'm going to give my customer.
It worked out well for him because the cinematic promo was the right way to go.
Oh, it was excellent. I thought it was very, very good. But I think on top, I'm going to start giving customary points to Kairi Sane because I miss her. So give 10 points a week to Kairi Sane.
I will make it 50.
Please come back. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You know, in all fairness, I'm gonna give 50 points to Ricky Saints for being on SmackDown. Even though his debut was lackluster, I mean, he made it to SmackDown. So let's see what he can do on SmackDown.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily... A lot of people said he botched his promo. I wouldn't necessarily say it was botched. It just didn't quite hit the right notes with the fans. They didn't quite react to it. I guess Ricky, whatever you want to call him, Ricky Saints, is just one of those you have to get used to if you don't know his style. I think it's going to take it a little bit longer than most people for him to settle into the main roster, because he is an acquired taste.
Like, he settled in straight away in NXT because I think most of the NXT audience, they knew who he is. Yeah. Because some of them fans probably watch all pro wrestling. That's why studying all wrestling is important, because you know who the characters are. That's why Evil's had such a really bit of a good presentation so far, because some of them may watch New Japan.
Yeah.
That's the thing. All wrestling is important to get to know who they are, what their background is. I think Ricky did just great. Match was good with Cody, but I think Ricky will be just fine. Give my customary points as well. 50 to Blake Monroe. I cannot wait till she debuts. And Streets are saying it's not till the end of May. Why? Hasn't Tiffany got an open challenge starting?
So Clash in Italy then?
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
All right.
Get that fine bit of ass on SmackDown. We need her.
And then finally, 50 human points to Danhausen, just so he doesn't curse us.
Oh, this is going to be off wrestling, and I want to give a whopping 200 points to Traveler's Tale. Because this is the new Lego Batman, which I can't wait to get, by the way. They have done an intro on one of the chapters, based with Lego, but on Batman the Animated Series. Trust me, I've seen it, and it looks freaking dope. So they get a whopping 200 points. And they've also done like a tribute as well to the late, great Kevin Conroy, obviously voiced Batman, if you don't know. They did like a little bit of a tribute to him, so they deserve a whopping 200 points. Obviously off wrestling, but I don't give a shit. It's my take. Not if you're fired by TKO.
And actually, I'll end it with 50 points to Joe Hendry, because that Can We Fire Logan Paul song has been stuck in my head all freaking week.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh. Can we fire Logan Paul?
Oh.
Like, he's done a music video for it, but he hasn't put it on Spotify yet. So I need it on Spotify.
That'll be coming soon.
Yeah. All right. That's the Bruv Board. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, Moses is not here to tell you what's going down with the TSK this week, but obviously he's not the only one with side projects. So, Bea, what you got going on? Where's the NXT at?
Right, yep, I need to get back to it because I have been extremely lazy with my Back to Black and Gold. I promise you, I will get it back up and running. I swear to you. So I will definitely get it up. I managed to find one of my retro rewatches, and that was WrestleMania 1. So I managed to find that. I think it might be a bit too late because obviously it was based on WrestleMania. Tonight, I am getting my Backlash. Rewatch is done. Backlash! That's my Vince McMahon impersonation. So it is going to be Backlash, which is going to be 2000, and I'm going to do an underrated 2003, which was a very underrated Backlash. So I'm going to try and get both of them done tomorrow. And here's our socials again. You can find us on the Evil X Machine at Max Wrestling UK, at Captain 512 and SMRPodNet. Please again, you are very welcome to join us. We are always looking for new faces each and every single time. Check our website at maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. Hit the like and subscribe button, or Trump will come after you. And also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all social media platforms. And also Captain's Revenge, as you've heard. Fantastic music every single time albums drop. When you will always get notifications when it's out. The new song for Full House, Everybody Down. One of my favorite tunes. It's a banger. Get listening to it right now, please.
Thank you. And Cypher, you got your own stuff going on too?
Yeah. So as we've been recently, like beer, I've been lazy, but not really been lazy. I've been sort of lazy, sort of busy, but hopefully I can get episode 6 done with the Max Takeover episode coming soon. I can't wait for that episode to happen. That'll be my 6th episode on the Mouth of the South podcast. And also in honor of Mo, I'm going to do this. Boy, howdy, do we got something for you in the footy. So I got a footy review coming out soon on the Footy Pod. Catch us there. Me, we're talking about the MLS, the good old American football, the prelim scene, me and with the Spurs, me with the San Diego FC, and all that good stuff. But pretty much, Max Footy Pod, I'm getting ready to do another review this Saturday for that. I got the Mouth of the South 828. I'm going to get the Max Takeover episode, like I said, out of the way soon. Hopefully we can all get together. 7 and 8 already got pre-planned out, so expect more episodes to be dropping from me soon. You can catch me at Mouth of the South 828 on YouTube, or you just type in Cypher C and you'll see the picture of me up there. But always catch us here live every Thursday, and catch me on After Max right after the show.
Damn right. Now, next week, the King of the Mic continues with Blade Rodriguez versus A.T. Rustler. And that is also our go-home show to Full House. So we'll see you then. Goodbye. And good night. Bang. How did Scouts get my number?